Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
Jorge.
Yes, it's me. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Everything is good. I'm not going to use the video. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm just terrible looking today.
I'm having the same issue. I think Zora's on her way.
Okay.
Hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, she's
Perfect. So you're in Portugal, right?
yes. Terrible
Nice.
day, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're having a terrible day or what?
No, the weather is terrible as
Oh,
well.
Well, that's it was a
Well,
great day over here, to be honest with you.
No, I
Hey,
think
so
I think we deserve the rain and the dark weather that we had today because it's been quite a great summer anyway. So
yeah.
a rain for a couple of days, it's not that bad. Anyway,
No.
hello Zora, by the way.
Hi.
Anyway, we can start talking about Blackbriar. Obviously, that's why we're here, and a Dark Euphony. Before we talk about the records, you guys release a lot of singles beforehand, which is not. It doesn't seem to be the norm these days anyway, even though I think we're heading that direction with bands releasing a lot of songs prior to an album. But in your case, you guys had singles, you played some shows like with Epica, Hailstorm in this moment, 2019, if I'm not mistaken. How was all that vibe going on when you guys didn't have an album but had singles and you were playing with already big bands?
Well, we
Yeah.
obviously had like EPs out. So we had like physical albums with only 5 songs. And we had 2 of those when we started playing with Epica. It was our second EP that we released. And then, we got invited by Epica to open for them close to our hometown. And that's where things started kicking off for us in terms of playing live. But we've always been, like you mentioned, very much focused on doing singles, but mainly because we have an unconditional love for making music videos ourselves.
If it was up to us, we would release, have all the songs that are on the album. We would have wanted to release them as a single with a
Yeah.
music video and give it all the attention. But yeah, we can't. But
Exactly. So that's where where that comes from. I think most bands will go into that direction sooner or later because it's the only way to highlight or emphasize a song. So if you have an album with 12 songs and you only do 2 singles, you will have like basically bad streams. And it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. So it's not that it comes from that mindset for us, but it is one of the reasons why we feel like we should do as much singles as we can, because we were an independent band up until a year ago when we signed with Nuclear Blast. So that was always our vision and our path, and we wanted to make sure that Nuclear Blast was also on board with us pursuing that still, so that we could still do all the singles.
yeah, and we wanted to release sooner, like music sooner. That was important for us in the beginning because you want to have something out there for people to listen to because she's just starting out. So then singles and an EP are more easy to do.
Exactly.
And also, so when you write, you always have like that song in mind. You're not thinking about like a whole concept or like thinking of an album, like you have to rush, we have to have 10 or 12 songs ready for an album. You prefer to focus on having great songs individually rather than thinking like, okay, we need 12 songs, if 1 or 2 are not as good as we want, it's fine. You prefer to focus on singles and have like those songs shine as much as possible.
We really write just songs. It isn't a concept album as well, so we have the luxury to do whatever inspires us and to write something. and have that freedom. I would love to do a concept album one day, but yeah. So it's just whenever we feel inspired, we write a song and we focus on that song, and then we finish it. And then we move on to the next. Yeah.
So all these 10 songs on this album were, written one after another, and all of them are on the album. So we did not have like 15 songs and choose 10 of them. We just wrote 10 songs, and these are the songs that are on the album.
How long did it take to write those 10 songs?
I think we started writing right away after the Cast Your Shipwreck, our debut album, was released. So if you, I think it's now like two years process, but like the writing was a little bit shorter, of course, maybe like a year.
Yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. And, going back just to those shows with Epica and Hailstorm in this moment, what did you learn from playing those shows?
Well, playing with Epica has, definitely helped us grow a lot, and they are great persons to be around. They've always been extremely helpful towards us, and we have actually a lot of our success in terms of playing live. We have to thank Epica for, because they've given us the opportunities to play in front of their Epicans. So. What have we learned? You always, whether it's your stage live performance, your presence live, or it's your actual songwriting, we always try to keep a close eye on the bands that we play or tour with. So Epica, for example, I remember myself being on stage every show they played when we played with them, just to see what there was for us to learn. And I was not necessarily taking notes, but in my mind I was. So, you learn a lot. And, we have always been a band, especially Zora as a singer, with a lot of nerves, right before the show. And I think by playing with them, we went to a level where we could, learn to control those nerves a bit more. That's
especially for such a big crowd that we've never played for such a big crowd before. That's a big learning experience.
Zora, do you have like, I remember vividly, this is something that I have in my mind, like for many, many years when I was in school, we did theater, and I was terrified, absolutely terrified of facing a crowd. And I remember that I was so nervous during the play that I really couldn't look at the crowd directly. I couldn't look anyone in the eyes. So for you as a singer, you being on front of a stage, you have people looking at you right in the eyes. What is your secret to probably overcome that fear of being on stage with so many eyes towards you?
I remember exactly in the beginning, I wouldn't look anybody in the eye. I just focused on one point in the distance and or closed my eyes or something. But in the end, I can now actually look people in the eye and enjoy it and seeing them sing along with me. Yeah, I don't know. It's just because we've done it now more and more times, and luckily it helps.
For a drummer, it's easier because he's behind the kit and doesn't have to worry about looking at people, right?
Exactly. But even our other band members, specifically Bart, he is also just as nervous as Zora is. But we did learn to, like I said, control those emotions. So, and that only comes from doing it a lot of times, I think. Obviously, there's tricks you can do, like Zora just mentioned, looking at a specific point in the room where you're never actually looking at somebody. But this was early days Blackbriar. Right now, last weekend we played Summer Breeze and Rock the Lakes. It's like masses of people. And personally, to me, it actually gets easier the more people there are actually, because even though there is still a very strong connection, the bigger the stage, the further away the first bunch of people are actually. So it is different, and I think maybe a little bit easier. But yeah, it's luckily I don't have these nerves. So.
And when it comes for the Dark Euphony album, we talked about individual songs, obviously. What normally inspire, the lyrics? For Cicada, there's a story behind it, and the video. I love the color palette on the video. I don't know who had the idea for it. I'm a sucker for good color graded videos.
Thank you.
I think more and more it's something that bands should pay attention to, and you really can, play with colors in a very wisely manner. But anyway, going for the lyrics, what does inspire normally, to write about?
Yeah, that can be literally anything that comes in your way. But I do get inspired a lot by like folklore, myths, and those kinds of things, history, and also really my personal life. But for the rest, it can be anything, like a smell or a book or a painting. Yeah.
Tree.
A tree.
So what was the idea for the video, Cicada? What was the colors, everything? What was the idea behind creating that? Because it's a story, after all, that you guys created with the video as well.
It started out to be a very simple idea. I think it wasn't supposed to be like a full official video, but we wanted to do like a lyrical, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it actually grown into like this creative. Yeah.
So the side story here is that we've always been an independent band for the first 11 years. So we have a very how do you say it? A passion for making music videos, and we do this stuff ourselves mainly. So when Zora writes a song, she already has the music video in her head while writing the song, before we even recorded it. And this specific one was inspired by a scene from one of Zora's favorite TV shows called Outlander, and there was a scene with the sin eating.
Now I think we were talking about Cicada, right?
Oh, Cicada. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Or am I mistaken?
No. He was talking about Cicada, definitely. Oh, geez. How did I come to mess that up? Well, but it doesn't matter.
It's a passion for music videos.
Exactly, but the story remains the same. So because Zora has like this envisionment of the music video already in her head, at first we were like, let's do a performance of you, very simple, and have the lyrics on the other side of the screen. Yeah. Exactly, with the wings. Yeah. And then Zora kept adding on to it. But the thing
because
is,
we have the luxury to do so because we make it ourselves. So
exactly. So because we, are able to film ourselves, we can just do anything we like for as long as we like to do it. So that's how the Cicada video basically kept on growing.
Cool.
I think we did like 6 or 7 shooting days, film days for it. So
yeah.
It was,
we didn't end up using everything, like all the days. Some days we messed up, but it took us a very long time.
And in terms of the color grade, sorry to interrupt you, Jorge, but in terms of color grading, we had a very strong vision of what it should look like. So we were looking for a very summer vibe and a very gloomy, but then dreamy, gloomy, summery, fairy tale like, blah blah blah. But then we ended up, because it was very yellow, very summery, more so than it is now. But we ended up with the direction that you see before you right now. After talking to a filmmaker friend of ours who was going to finalize the color grade for us because we ran out of time and we needed to do other music videos. So somebody else did the color grading on this one, but as an extension of what we had told him to do, basically.
Very good. And I think the result is great anyway. And what is the importance of social media these days for a band like Blackbriar? You know, because it's the old conversation that if you're not on Facebook, on Instagram or Twitter, whatever it's called these days, you don't exist. Is it the case for you guys? You guys feel that if you're not, you know, engaging online, that you're missing out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's like the way to get your music out there for people to discover you. And we really loved reading everybody's messages as well. Like, yeah, and also comment on them and interact. So it's a good way to have a closer connection to the listeners, to the fans.
And doesn't get too much sometimes. I mean, when you know, I have this experience that if you reply to someone, that someone might reply back and try to keep engaging in a conversation that at a certain time you don't know how to stop, and if you stop, that person will get offended because you stop replying. Do you guys have control over that? And have you guys ever got in a case of someone just being a bit too much?
Well, you know, we take it too hard. You know, the only reason why we are currently where we are is because of social media. So we, from day one, when we started this band, we replied to every single comment ourselves, and we still do. We're a little bit behind right now because of all the work, but we still do. And it's the only reason why we're here. So we take this very seriously. And even if somebody would reply back and, you know, yeah, we would reply again usually. And sometimes it might get a little, you know, too much, but for us, there's no excuse, you know, we just need to do this. And that's why we have Discord, a personal Discord channel for us where our fans can join in and actually get a lot closer to us and send us private messages as a whole band. Everybody is in there. It's just one of our ways, you know, we take it very serious to be in close contact with our fans or people who enjoy our music, because they're the reason why we're here. So yeah, in that regard, luckily we've never had too much issues with people overextending their welcome, but it's also because we don't feel that way. You know, if people want to start a conversation with us, depending on our availability, we will give them the attention that they're seeking for. But, you know, we're not like, how do you say it? Sometimes it's not like it gets too personal. Yeah. That's never the issue. But if it does, then even then, you know, yeah, it's okay to us. We try to listen, and we're grateful that they're there to support us, and we'll do our best to support them as well.
Cool. And you know, obviously signing with Nuclear Blast, it's a big change, you know, for a band that's been working mostly independently, as you said. What is the big difference that you found since you joined Nuclear Blast, you know, besides probably a lot of interviews?
That is a big difference indeed.
Yeah.
But
you know, sorry, Zora, go ahead. Well, the thing that we notice most is their exquisite team. You know, they have a great bunch of people that can advise us on things, that can help us. Because don't get me wrong, we're still doing a lot of the work ourselves, something that people might not expect because you signed with the label. But we are actually still doing like all the work that we did before this. We do it still. plus more. So it's because we want to do it this way. So the big difference is that they are very skilled. So everybody knows exactly what they're talking about. They can advise us. They can help us out if it's needed. And then on the other end, they're extremely good at promoting and marketing new music, as you are part of actually right now with the interview. So they are trying to add on everything that we've been doing, and we're trying to learn from them as much as we can. So that's the biggest difference.
And it's still important to keep that control, especially when it comes, let's say, to make music videos. You prefer to still keep it like that instead of they showering you with money and say, we have this producer or director, go work with him. Do you still prefer to do it yourselves?
Exactly. Yeah. So we have full control. Creative control obviously is most important, but also into every decision that's being made, is basically made as a team with Nuclear Blast. But has there anything been that we didn't want to do, or they are very open-minded, and they're actually here to help us and grow Blackbriar, make sure that we are working at our full potential, and we're doing everything they ask of us, and they're hopefully doing the same for us. So it's a very fruitful collaboration, that's for sure.
Cool. And obviously at the end of this month you guys are going to be on tour with Ad Infinitum. Looking forward for those live shows?
Really, really looking forward. And we are actually going on tour before the album is out, so that we are already 4 shows, I think, that the album isn't even being released yet. So we are going to play all the new songs, and people haven't even heard it yet. So I think that will be very special. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and that we can finally get the music out there, and play it live. Exactly. New songs, sing the new songs. Yeah, I can't wait.
and with Blackbriar, and going back to the videos with those concepts and colors and everything, is it something that you're going to bring to the live show as well? Is that something that is possible for you guys to do, even though obviously you're going to play a limited time, the stages won't be huge or anything like that, but is it something visually live from the videos that you're able to bring on stage?
Currently, it's quite expensive to do so. So we're already quite a big band, in terms of the amount of people in this band. So it's quite expensive to travel with our full traveling party. So if we would add on visual effects of our music videos, or try to add on elements of our music video, that would massively increase our productional costs. So that's the main reason why we have never thought about, even trying to implement things of our music videos yet. So we're doing it in different areas. We are investing in our live performance with all the stuff that we need, the lights, the sound, blah, blah, blah. But the visual effects, it's so extremely expensive that it just hasn't come up yet.
Very good. I always wonder, because it's something that when you treat people well with great music videos, when it comes to a live show, people might start to expect something more as well visually. So
I think you're spot on there. And to be honest with you, if we had the full opportunity, financial or whatever, to do this, we would probably have a very theatrical show, which would represent all our music videos if we played that specific song live, and it would be quite cinematic actually. So we would be focusing on doing a cinematic live show, basically with video and with effects and with low fog and everything that you can imagine to make it more theatrical, Zora changing dresses, blah blah blah. But you need people. You need all the stuff that's just needed to change a dress. It's insane.
I will bring my wings.
Okay. That's a start.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're starting.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Pink many, many years ago in London at Wembley Arena. And that was before she played stadiums and all that. But, I remember she changed costumes, so many times during the show that I was like wondering, like, what is happening here? Why every 2 or 3 songs she's changing dress? But, at the end, you realize there's a concept, there is like a stage thing that, was set up, and it makes sense. It's not just a diva kind of a thing, it just makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
And after this tour with Ad Infinitum, what can we expect from Blackbriar for 2024?
We'll probably start writing again right away, as we always do, because it's a continuous loop for us. Actually, secretly already started with writing new things, but that's
You guys cannot stop then. The creative muse is always there for you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We started as a band that wrote music and did music videos, and we did not play live. And that's still in there somewhere. So, whenever we have an opportunity, we will write new music, and we will already be filming music videos or thinking about music videos, even when this album hasn't even been released yet. But hopefully a bigger tour as well for next year, and a lot more festival shows. So that's our current focus mainly, playing more live for next year.
More countries.
more countries, hopefully Portugal as well. And writing new material.
All right, René and Zora, thank you very much for your time. All the best for Blackbriar.
Thank you.
And the Dark Euphony. So hopefully, Portugal will be on the books on the next tour next year, maybe. So, fingers crossed for that to happen. Hope to see you guys soon. And, I love the record, and keep focusing on those videos. They are very tasteful, so they are. And, I like when a band puts the effort in something like that. It shows that they care for what they're doing. So
exactly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for noticing, Jorge, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us. And we're looking forward to meeting you in Portugal when we are there to play live, hopefully next year.
Hopefully. Right. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, and hope to see you guys soon. All right.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.